Ano yan? Nung nahuli si Marvin Miranda, March 31, dito tayo noon eh. We were outside nung nahuli siya. In-announce natin na nahuli na nga si Marvin Miranda in a hot pursuit operation. After that, nagkaroon na ng, after a week or siguro mga 6 days after that, nagsimula na yung kaluskos. Nung finally, nakausap niya yung mga lawyer na ayaw niyang papasukin nung una, at ayaw niyang kausapin, nung finally, kinuha niya yung abogado na pumunta ron, nagsimula na yung mga offer na bigyan ng pera itong mga ibang akusado. At i-offer sila ng malalaking amount ng pera, amounting to, according to the Intel report, 8 million pesos each.
Sir, may info din po ba, sir, doon sa Intel report kung saan nanggaling yung pera, kanino nanggaling, paano po?
Obviously, it comes from a very wealthy, moneyed source who has something at stake in the criminal case. In the criminal cases for murder, for the crimes committed against Governor Digamo, for the crime committed against Governor Digamo and the 9 other persons killed, and the 17 others injured in that occasion. Lahat sila inoferan, alam ko. Lahat sila inoferan.
8 million, is that for everyone?
At that time, each per person. I don't know, but well, with the pattern emerging right now, with supposed recantations, which we haven't seen yet, well, it's possible. We don't know.
Sir, paano raw po makakarating sa kanila or sa kanilang mga bank account yung pera? Kasama ba?
Mahiwaga na ngayon. Ano na ngayon? Digital age na. Everything is possible now.
Since we're talking about the former DOJ, you said, is this tantamount to direct bribery?
Ang bribery kasi for public officials yan eh, di ba? Well, it's actually, technically, it's obstruction of justice.
How is it obstruction? Open?
No, hindi, kasi you try to avoid the person's liability for an unlawful act through different means or different importunings of fortune.
So, is that under separate investigations?
It's possible that we may look into this properly. We're just saying that we are not surprised by all of these things happening. That's why, as early as 2.5 weeks ago, sinasabi ko na sa inyo, mangyayari ito, di ba? I was telling you already that the pattern of recantations will happen. Magkakaroon na ng recantation kasi nga may nangyayari ng mahiwaga ng panahon na yun. It didn't surprise us at all. Hindi kami nagugulat.
Sir, maybe nung kung paano daw in-offer, was there a specific person who made the offer?
Sabi nila, there were lawyers. Lawyers were the ones on top of this. And it's really not just one lawyer. These are lawyers, mga nababayarang tao kasi ito eh. These are the expensive lawyers probably who are orchestrating the legal defense team for this terrorist group.
Sir, kanina may ginag-declare na name ng isang lawyer. So, just to
You're talking about Undersecretary Orseo. I mentioned him because he walked into the NBI claiming to be the lawyer of Marvin Miranda, and Marvin Miranda denied knowing him in the beginning. That's why we mentioned his name. Former Undersecretary yan, of Justice.
What does that show? How do you feel about that? A former official of your...
Well, we have to look at the conflict of interest angles, no? When it comes to serving in the DOJ, if you go back to private practice, if you should be able to go back to criminal law practice, because there should be a prohibition against that.
As the secretary, so how do you feel about someone who's
It's very unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth, because we try our best to serve the people in this capacity here. At least for the people that I have with me, in my team, the undersecretaries and the assistant secretaries, the directors of the Department of Justice. I have a very high regard for them. It's very unfortunate there are people who will stoop so low if ever these things are proven.
Sir, yesterday you mentioned nung tinanong namin kung meron pa bang ibang nag-orchestrate ng recantation si Attorney Danny Villanueva.
Isa pa yan. Actually yan, he was the one who said that they were going to file a habeas corpus case against us because of the family of Rivero. But in the end, Rivero signed the habeas corpus petition and not the lawyer, because the lawyer knew that the family had already signed off from the Witness Protection Program, but still filed that case to waste the time of the court and to waste the time of the DOJ. That's why we are reporting that person to the Integrated Bar of the Philippines for whatever purpose it may serve, so that this pattern of behavior will not be repeated, wasting the time of the prosecutors and the court.
Specifically, Attorney Villanueva.
Yes, yes.
What the use of it's using or say is also a lawyer.
Hindi, ito specific to the habeas corpus petition. Kasi sila yung nagsasabi publicly na mag-file sila ng habeas corpus petition, but when they filed it, hindi na siya kasama sa pleading. Yung pangalan lang ni Rivero yung nasa pleading, asking us to produce the family. But the family had already signed off from the Witness Protection Program on May 19, but they filed the petition on May 22, knowing fully well that they had been released from the program voluntarily and thanking us for the program, for the help given them. It's a delaying tactic, actually. That's why this has to be subject of a disciplinary proceeding in the future.
Sir, you also mentioned kanina na lawyers yung nag-offer nung alleged na bayan dun sa pagre-recant. Ang lawyers lang naman po na may access sa kanila is yung mga lawyers nila.
Yes. Sino pa?
Sir, may plan din po ba tayo dun sa angulong yun?
Well, we will look at every possible misconduct that is being committed here. Because you're frustrating the ends of justice. Hindi na fair yan eh. Di ba? Fair is fair. Laban tayo sa korte. Malinis na laban. Pero kung ganyan na, ibang usapan na yan.
Sir, nakausap namin kanina sa Attorney Villanueva. I-explain niya yung situation sa loob daw ng NBI. Sabi niya, imposible daw na magkaroon ng pag-usapan.
Actually, I don't ano eh. I don't want to know about him. He's not my concern. I just know what he filed, and I don't care what he says.
Regarding sa pag-recount.
Well, I don't know. You don't have to tell me. Whatever he wants to say, let him say it to you, but not to me.
Sir, may fairness po namin yung pera.
What do you think?
Maybe you can go to the Timor Leste.
Ah.
Confirm supposedly his application for citizenship. Can you go as
Asylum, citizenship.
why does that go to the Supreme? Is that possible?
No, maybe their legal system. He probably got the best lawyers money can buy in Timor Leste also.
Is it possible for a non-Timorese sa Supreme Court?
Well, it's kasi ang asylum is a legal recourse for people of different nationalities to seek the protection of other governments.
But sir, sorry, clarify ko lang. Ang in-apply niya ay asylum pa rin at hindi citizenship.
Alam ko nag-apply rin siya ng citizenship eh. And nag-apply rin siya ng asylum.
Sir, can you tell us yung pag-apply ng citizenship? Ano po sir yung...
Actually, I don't know the legal process of Eastern Timor, Timor Leste, but they have a legal system that works. So, it's in the Supreme Court now.
Pero sir, yung information na nakarating po sa inyo, ano po yung basic na ginawa niya? I-re-renounce ba niya yung pag-ibig?
Hindi ko alam yan. I don't know that.
Sir, may details.
Basta alam ko, asylum ang issue, basically. Citizenship was also on the table, but I know more of the political asylum that they were applying for.
Was he denied?
It was denied initially already. That's why they were able to make what we call a justiciable controversy so that they could file it in court. Diba? It has to be ripe for a justiciable controversy to be able to file it in court. Yes, from Singapore, they got a private plane. That was the intelligence report given to us, and there were 13 of them in the private plane that they boarded. That's a very expensive proposition. Huh? You're talking about somebody complaining about oppression, but whiling away his money or spending his money in such a manner that will put a lot of people to shame on the way they spend money.
You mentioned something about lifestyle.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
How many to say?
Private plane, 13 people, not cheap.
Where do you think he got that? How do you think he afforded?
Well, di ba, as I told you, that he's in charge of a illegal gambling empire. We're talking about gambling money here, illegal gambling money.
In the form of what? Online, political gambling,
Isabong.
isa.
Yes, I think that issue has been there the whole time. I think people have taken notice of that already. I cannot surmise. I will not be surprised if it was mentioned later on, but I will not venture into that yet. Okay? No more.
Sir,
Happy weekend.
Wait lang, sir. Baka may sasabihin ka pa. May gusto ko
See you next week. Let's go to work again next week.
What bansa? You mentioned that you was spotted in the north.
In the north, yeah. Yeah.
May possibility of him being arrested.
No, kasi mag-uumpisa na kasi yung trial ng case niya. Magsisimula na yung trial.
Wala na yung surrender.
That's why the urgency for us is there to capture Bantag. And you'll find out next week what other things we may have about Bantag.
Actually, just yung Pogo concept. Parang, you mentioned that they're not all victims. There's also
Yeah, the scammers. Many of them are just scammers. They were operating the computers, which were similarly designed to lure people into love, love scams.
So, 1,000 rescued.
1,000 computers were there, were found. 1,000 computers ba?
More than 1:1 per person.
Oh, basta may mahigit 1,000 computer.
The so-called victims, foreign nationals, so they will be charged. As far
No more. They've been repatriated or deported, whichever the case may be.
but as far as the DOJ is concerned, they're not victims of this. They're also
Well, they're not urgently victims of trafficking, if you're gonna ask me, but they have no reason to exist in the country, to stay in our country if they're just involved in scams. So repatriation was the only measure, repatriation or deportation was the only measure acceptable to us as government.
Sir, may we know kung bakit 8 na lang yung respondents from earlier 12, 10?
Naging witness yung... Teka.
12 naging dalawang witness. Tapos yung sa 10, may dalawa kulang ng evidence for probable cause.
Sa 10, oo. So, yan. You're hearing it from the head of the IACAT, Undersecretary T. Nikki T.
you were to the Senate hearings earlier. So, pero there was an option during the hearing na possible liability of Bangkok. So, we're looking at that as an option.
Ano yan alam mo, when people apply, they apply for the legal thing. And then, remember, everything happened, and then the pandemic struck. So supervision became very, very hard for many of us. Even people going to the office who couldn't even go to the office. There was a minimum of supervision in the country for any industry in particular. Especially that you cannot move around to do what you had to do. So we can make that excusable during the time of the pandemic. But now, we have to make sure that all of these permits given by PAGCOR are being used for the purpose by which they were given.
There are liabilities for them not using it.
We will see. If a case is filed, then we will study.
What yung drug development? Kasi may mga design na rin sa drug, the aftermath of that.
It's possible. They cannot be blind to what's happening there.
Any conspirators or forwards possible, accomplices kaya sila.
I cannot classify people yet as to the degree of liability in this matter.
Sir, sorry, balik lang sa Bantag. If you could put it on sound by the state. Ano po yung huling monitoring po natin? Nasaan na po si Bantag?
Somewhere in the north, there's a barangay given to me, but It's okay. That's not, get there.
You can be arrested soon.
Hopefully, we're asking the police and the NBI to prioritize his arrest. And of course, Sulbeta.
Are they staying in the same barangay, sir? Are there
Don't have that particular information yet. I would tell you if I knew. Happy weekend. Okay, see you next week.